Good evening, everybody. Oh my goodness, it's Lynn here, the Go Live Granny, and I'm live streaming here on Tuesday, the 19th of January, 2021. And tonight is going to be a tribute to my dad. So I'm just going to pull up, see if I can find the comments. Whoops, and I can't see the screen. Hello, Tegan. Hello, Dean. Let's just see if we can, just a minute. Let's have a look, see if we can get onto the comments, folks. I can't see the screen. Hi, Patricia. Hi, Tina. Hi, Tegan and Dean. Sorry about this, folks. I'm getting there. I think my hat's going to cover my face in a minute. Oh dear. Hang on, folks. Oh, let's have a look and see. I can't see, folks. Hello, Deb. Nice to see you. Sorry, I'm just having a little bit of an issue here. Oh dear, how is everybody? And I have had a glass of wine too. Maybe that's the problem. Who knows? Anyway, I am in the living room because my son is doing his role play in the other room. I nearly dropped the camera just now. The camera wasn't high enough for you to be able to see the hat, so I then had to go and get some books and a box and all that sort of thing. It's all very wobbly here in front of me. It's a bit precariously balanced, so if you disappear into the ether, don't be surprised. So let's see what we can do. Hello, Sally. I have to put my glasses up there to see at the distance. Normally I can see like that, but I can't get the comments on the on here for a minute. I tell you what, let's go off this and come on again, because that's usually what works, isn't it? So happy birthday to my late dad. Thank you very much. This is my late dad here. So hopefully in a mo we will I don't know, it's not telling me that I've gone live, which is, I don't know. Oh, here we are. Yes, it is telling me now. So I should be able to get the comments down here because I'm sitting a bit further back than the screen that I usually sit, and so I can't see. Hang on. Whoops, let's take, no, hang on, what are we doing? That's it. There we go. Right, I think I'm in. Hello, Sarah. Hello, Tegan. Hello, Patricia and Andrew. Kath. There, Kath saying hello all and happy heavenly birthday to Lynn's dad. I love your hat tribute. Just don't disappear. Well, no, and actually it is not as busy a tribute as it should have been. I had far more plans to have a lot more smoothie hats on here, but unfortunately I was weary. Things happened. I made a little fez and I've lost it. I've got the dangly bit like this that goes on the fez, but I can't find the fez. I made that last night. I don't know how much you can see. Can you see I don't know if you can see the top of the hat. If I sit back like this, you can see the top of the hat, but then I can't see. So we've got 3 smoothie hats on here. That's all I managed today. I was intending to do a lot more. I've got over here, I've got what should have been an ice cream smoothie hat. And let's see, hang on. Hello, Yvonne McAvee. Sarah's finished her 2nd octopus today. That's brilliant. Yes, so do you know, sometimes you just have to give up. I was intending to have lots more smoothie hats on this, all that reminded me of my dad. I will tell you why I have these 3 on here in a minute. Absolutely. And hello, Carl, nice to see you in. So for those of you who are in who don't know, today would have been my dad's 100th birthday. He got to 89, which is not a bad innings, but today he would have been 100. Think of the celebrations. We wouldn't have been able to have them, would we? Because we're in pandemic, so it wouldn't have been quite what we might have wanted. Anyway, 100 years. There we are. There's David. That's my brother coming in saying 100 years. And I hope David's going to come in with some comments about Dad and remind me. But I thought I'd do it in a sort of tribute from the smoothie hats, because I thought if I knitted smoothie hats, then they will go on to be given to the Age UK afterwards. So that's how I started. So I don't know whether David he'll get the reference probably to this one and this one. He might not remember the reference to this one here in the middle. So we have a Santa hat. We have a mortarboard here. I was quite pleased with the mortarboard. Very happy with that. And Mr. Strong there, Mr. Strong here in the middle. Now, the reason I've got poppies, my daughter-in-law just went and found them, because actually it is International Flower Day. And I didn't have time to make any flowers or flower smoothie hats. So my daughter-in-law reminded me that I'd given her some poppies. So we've just used the poppies up for International Flower Day as well. It's also Winnie the Pooh Day, I believe, which is an anniversary of the, I don't know how many years that is. Somebody can look it up. I've totally forgotten. I just lost a little bit of oomph tonight. You know, I was having a few issues, but anyway. So lovely to have my brother in watching. David, if you want to join us in the broadcast, let me know, because you can come in the other half of the screen. So let me know if you'd like to join in, David, because although we're not in the same place like we often are when we do our streaming siblings, I could bring you in onto the screen if you've got your phone. Oh, I don't know. You might be able to come in. I'm not quite sure. We could see if we could get you in if you want to come in, David, but just let me know. So hello, Ruby. Ruby's just arrived to help us celebrate my dad's 100th birthday there. So let's see. So I'm going to tell you some of the stories about my dad. A.A. Milne's birthday. Thank you. Yeah, I thought it was to do with A.A. Milne's birthday, but I couldn't remember what year. 1882. Wow, so that's long, isn't it? Dean's off to have his first vaccine tomorrow. Hopefully that goes well. It's the anniversary of Yvonne's mum's passing today, so lots of things of celebration. I mean, you know, not celebration of passing, but celebration of people's lives and remembering them, the good side of it. So seeing a lovely tribute has brought her closer to me through shared memories. Excellent, Yvonne. So, you know, that's part of the idea, is that we enjoy the good bits rather than dwell on the bad bits. David says, give him 5 minutes. Okay, David, let me know when you're ready. And Helen has just come in, Helen of Isle of Wight Wool. I'm delighted to say I've just put in another order with Helen I think I told you, most of you know I knitted my granddaughter a cardigan, and I'm knitting my daughter-in-law one to match. And now my son wanted a jumper to match as well, and I've managed to get the wool from Helen. So I ordered that tonight, so I shan't be sitting idle anytime soon, as you can imagine. So anyway, let's see who else came in there. Jan came in as well. I'm going to sit back a bit, but I have to put my glasses up if I want to read the comments, because I'm too far away. Anyway, so mostly it's all going to be about my dad and memories of my dad. So 100 years ago, my dad was born. He was born the only child to a tailor. My granddad was a tailor. I never met that granddad, but his mum, I knew she lived to ripe old age of 90. I'm not quite sure what. David will remind me. I think she lived to the ripe old age of 96. So there is a bit of longevity in our family, and I'm hoping that, you know, I live one of these grand old ages. So anyway, let me tell you. So let me take you through my dad. Actually, when my dad passed, we didn't have a moping wear black funeral. We had a bright colours and a celebration of life. 92, you think? Oh, I thought she was older than that, but maybe wrong. So hi Tony, nice to see you in. Sarah's granddad was a tailor as in Taylor. My granddad was a tailor as in that was his profession. Was that your granddad's profession as well, Sarah? Hello Yvonne, nice to see you in, helping us to celebrate Dad's birthday. I bet he's having a rip-roaring time wherever he is. I bet he's whipping it up somewhere. Anyway, hi Patricia, nice to see you. So when we had Dad's service of celebration of life, each of us did a tribute to him. There were four. I have 3 siblings, so there's 4 of us, and we all did tributes to him on the day on the celebration of his passing. And we didn't confer, we didn't check notes or anything. We just did it, and some of us sort of doubled up on some of the things, which not surprising really. What happened on mine, my dad, when he was in his later life, he became a local preacher, and he always did his sermons in 3 parts. Because he said people then wouldn't fall asleep. If he split his sermons up into little chunks, people wouldn't fall asleep. And so when I did my tribute to him, I put my tribute to him in 3 parts. And so I talked about Dad, the father, my father, not the father, my father, Dad, the Rotarian, and Dad, the local preacher. I think that's what we did, yes. And so and one of the things that it's not very normal, but I said to Mum when he went on his passing, I said, what about having his celebration of life videoed? And I'd asked the videographer, my friend videographer, if he ever did things like that. He said no, but he would if it was okay. It happened to be Mum's birthday. We celebrated Dad's passing on Mum's birthday because we do all that sort of thing in our family. It's all about family celebrations. And so it was also my niece's birthday too. And it was a beautiful sunny day. And we had a wonderful service. And, it was a fantastic service. And we had it videoed. And I've got it I want to watch it again when I can't while I'm here because it's on a CD or DVD at home, but I will watch it again. So, it was a wonderful service, all sorts of ways of remembering him. And, funny thing too was we all did 15 minutes of a tribute. And people had to go and move their cars because there's only an hour's free parking outside the church that we were at, and people hadn't reckoned on a service going on for more than an hour, so they had to run out and move their cars. And he would have just seen the very funny side of that. Anyway, I'll approve it afterwards, Yvonne. I can see the comments there about the pictures going into the group. I'll approve the pictures afterwards. Hello, Claire. So anyway, let's talk about Dad. Well, of course, I knew Dad for a very long time. I was very lucky. I was almost 60 when my dad passed. Not very many people have their dads live as long. And when we were at school, my friend lost her dad, my sister's friend lost her dad, and my dad, our dad, David and I, he stood there and he said, now I suppose you're looking at me now. But he lived long, much longer, and he really left his... Sorry, this hat's going to fall off. I have to hold it on. It seems to have expanded since I made it. And to be honest, do you know what I made it out of? I made it out of, inside, it is, it's a bag. It's a bag that one of my books came in from Amazon. And I thought that will make a nice hat. And this beautiful background here is what Helen wrapped my last lot of wool in. See, so that was a lovely thing to put over the top there. So anyway, so let's go back to memories of my dad, and David will perhaps come in a minute. Yes, unfortunately, yes, Sarah, I was the other end. I was, as I say, nearly 60. How lucky was I? Jan was 16 when she lost her dad. Sarah's was 24. It's one of the things I am so grateful about, that I had my dad for a very long time. And Dad taught us so many different things. Dad, you're ready to be invited. So let's see if I can get David in as well here. So let's see. I have to see if I can see you, David. Are you on the phone? Oh, I can't see you, David. Oh, yes, I can. There we go. Let's see. Bring David. Here we are. I can get David in on camera. Let's see if this works. The Amazon bag has been multi-purpose. It also made a good backdrop for your aquarium. It did, didn't it? You noticed. Excellent. That's lovely to see. So there we go. I don't know, David, I don't know if you're on your phone or how you're coming in. I don't know whether this is going to work. It's not seeming to want to add him. It's saying it's adding him, but he's not actually. Well, we'll see if he appears. If he appears, he appears. I'm not sure. Yeah, so very multi-purpose bag, the Amazon bag. Oh, no, it wasn't the Amazon bag. It was the bag for wool. The guest declined the live video invitation. Oh, it looks like he can't come in. Never mind. He can put comments in the bottom there. So we need to get you a phone that you can come in on, David. I think if you might be watching on your computer. I'm not sure. I don't know how it works. We'll have to ask the technical members of the family. So anyway, so Claire lost her dad. He was 82, and Yvonne had a horrible father. Well, very, very different than mine, Yvonne. But you had a lovely stepdad. He's still with you and you love him to bits. Yes, and you talk so much about him, which is lovely. Poor Kath lost hers when she was young. So David, have you got your phone in this landscape? If you've got it in landscape, that's the way mine is, and you need it the same way to come in. So if you're not in landscape, put it that way and let's give it another try. If not, just comment in the bottom. There we go. So sorry folks, I'm not sure that I can get David in onto the broadcast, but anyway, you know, some of the memories of that. So I tell you what, let's go through the hats first. That means I'm jumping about in my dad's life, different parts of my dad's life, but this one here, can you see it's a mortarboard? My dad had 2 degrees. He got himself 2 degrees, and his second degree, was it 2, David, or was it 3? How many degrees did he have? I know he did an Open University degree when we were you know, at school, and he did a lot of studying you know, while we were at secondary school. So he did his Open University degree, but he was also a fantastic teacher to us. So he got us through some of our exams. I was terrible at some of my schoolwork, and he would take me in hand and help me. The reason I passed my history exam, I know that I've told this story before, but obviously not everybody's been in on all the broadcasts. So when I did my history GCE, I think we called them GCEs then, didn't we? We hadn't covered the syllabus in school. We had only done part of the syllabus. And when we got to the exam, the morning of the exam, I went into the exam, I looked at the paper and I couldn't answer any question on the paper. I knew I was bad, but I didn't know it was that bad. Anyway, I looked around and people got their hands up because they'd sent us the wrong paper, which is why I couldn't answer any of the questions. So we got sent home and then told to come back in the afternoon to do the exam. So I rang my dad, and he was at work, and he said, right, read up the United Nations and read up Winston Churchill, because we hadn't even covered that in the syllabus, but that was now part of the period that they were testing on. And he used to look and work out what sort of questions would come up on the papers. And so on that one, so what happened, I went, my friend's dad took me home, and then he was going to come back and pick me up. So I read up United Nations, and I read up, got part way through Winston Churchill's life, and then my friend's dad arrived to pick me up to take me back to school. Got into the exam. There was a question on the United Nations, which I had just learnt fresh in my head that morning. So there we go. You know, Dad got it right. He saw that there would be a question on United Nations. And then there was a question on on Churchill's life. Unfortunately, it was the second half of Churchill's life, which I hadn't had time to read because my friend's dad had come to pick me up to take me home, take me back to school. It didn't matter. The knowledge I had with the United Nations question was enough for me to pass my exam. A friend of mine who was brilliant at history failed because she got flummoxed because of all the the messing about and going home. Now she should have passed and I should have failed, but it didn't work that way. It worked, I was lucky, very lucky to have passed that exam. So Dad encouraged us lots. He helped us loads. I remember my sister, she was doing GCE religious knowledge, and her knowledge was not very good. And I remember Dad using all the teddy bears and all the dolls and all our playthings from all our dolls and toys and things from around, and he would use them to be the armies, the different armies that were involved in some of these things she had to learn. And it was just such fun, watching Teddy Bear being, I think Teddy Bear became Nasty Nestorius. I don't even know who Nasty Nestorius is, but I do remember them talking about that. So, I mean, you don't want a teddy bear to be a nasty character, but, it's what they did. And it's how she learned. We are a bit visual learners, some of us in our family, and seeing things, it would be good to sit in the exam and then say, oh, yes, it was the teddy bear. It was a nasty Nestorius. I don't need to, oh, I see. Wait a minute. Let's see. I don't, there we go. Let's try again. Let's see. I've tried again to see if we can get him in. I don't know if we can. Let's see. It looks like it's try-tatting. Oh dear, this hat seems to have expanded since I made it. When I put it on, it was fine, but it's not doing so well. So anyway, so that's sort of that's why we have the mortarboard. So Dad was a teacher. He taught us a lot of things. He had 2 degrees. He helped us with a lot of our schoolwork. He was very, very patient too with it, and that was brilliant. So that's why we have the mortarboard there. Why do we have a Santa hat over here? Some of you will know that bit of the story because I've told this before. I've told all these stories actually. So Santa hat. In Dad's later life, he became a Rotarian. And in Rotary, the motto of Rotary is service above self. Why not tie the robot on the ribbon? Oh, like this. Oh, what a good idea. Oh, Andrew, you're so clever. Why didn't I think of that? Let's see if I'll try. I don't think it's long enough, Andrew. Let's see if it is. It's not very long, but I might be able to do it. There we go. Oh yes, look, that might be a bit better. It's still a bit slippy, but we'll give it a go. There we go. So now I forgot what I was saying. What was I saying? Oh yes. So the Santa hat. So in later life, Dad became a Rotarian, and the motto for the Rotary Club is service above self. Now David and I were both Rotarians, and so we've all been in the Rotary Club. And Dad would do an awful lot of things to help raise funds and, for doing all these things, for putting service above self. One of the things he used to do was offer to be Santa. And what his Rotary Club often used to do, they used to get a vehicle, and they would, I don't know whether they did that for Santa. I know that in the summer they would raffle a car. So obviously, in order to raffle a car, you've got to sell an awful lot of tickets to make it work. And in the summer, at the summer fetes and shows, he would be standing there saying, come on down, the price is right, and getting everybody to come and buy tickets. And I don't know whether it was, no, obviously it wasn't a raffle. It wasn't a raffle. He was actually just being Santa, I believe, to the children coming by. So he was outside WH Smith's in West Ealing, invite you again. I'll try and invite you again, David. Okay, let's see if I can invite David again. Let's see. We'll see if we can get David in. Let's see. I can't see where he is. Hang on. I can't see you there. Allow your viewers to request to join as a guest. Can you request, David? Because I can't see you. If you can request, but I can't see where you are. You've disappeared from the list. So see if you can request. Let me know when you've requested and I'll see if I can add you in. Get another try. Andrew's saying the Rotary Club of Scotland normally hold annual athletics events such as work sport. Yes, they do all sorts of things. Hello, Jenny. Nice to see you in, coming to help me celebrate my dad's birthday. So, yes. So no, on this occasion, it was Dad was playing Santa, and so you're looking for the button. Okay, David. Dad had to obviously change somewhere. You know, he didn't turn up in his Santa suit. He changed. They let him change in Smith's, in the shop, in the staff room, I suppose it was. Well, my dad was very short-sighted and he wore glasses all the time. And but Santa doesn't wear glasses usually, does he? Hi, Rebecca, nice to see you. So Santa doesn't wear glasses. So of course he decided he had to take his glasses off, and he had to take his glasses off, and in doing so, because he couldn't see what he was doing, he went out the wrong door. So he went out one of the doors that was alarmed, and he set the alarms all ringing in the shop. so that caused a bit of a stir, you know, Santa setting off the burglar alarms. It's a green person with another person in the box, Sarah's saying, David. So I don't know whether that is the same on your phone. Anyway, we'll just keep seeing. Let me have another look and see if I can see him there. Right. Let's see. No, he's not there. Only some of you are there. I don't understand these things. I don't understand why. Sometimes I can invite people and sometimes I can't. Anyway, so that was another fun story that with Dad. But so that was why I've got the Santa hat on here. Okay. Now the Mr. Strong, can you see Mr. Strong is up the top here? The poppy is because it's International Flower Day today, and those were the only flowers that we had available to pop on, so that was fine. So yes, so Mr. Strong refers, it reminds me, right, is David on his PC? I don't know. I think he said he was on his phone. Anyway, we went to a co-ed school, David and my other brother and my sister. We were at a co-ed school, you know, Mum and Dad chose a co-ed school so we could all go to the same school. And they had an open day. There we are. They're trying to advise you, David. Look at the comments. They're trying to advise you, but I don't know if it's working. Anyway, so on this open day, there were all sorts. I don't remember much else about what went on this open day, but I do remember in the science lab. Oh, you've changed to the PC. Okay, David, I don't know. Have you got a working camera and a working microphone on there? Because you will need those in order to be able to speak and to be seen. So anyway, I don't know how to do it on the PC. If anybody can advise him, that would be fine. So let's see. If not, we'll just join in the comments if you can't get on. Anyway, so they had some experiments going on in the science lab, and there was one of these machines, and I can't remember what the machine was called. David might remember it. Some of you might know. It was a machine in which you blow into it to test your lung capacity. And my dad didn't want to let us down. My dad was a little man. He was not very tall. And he he saw that other people's dads have been blowing into this machine and showing their lung capacity, and he wanted to be the tops. He did not that we're competitive in our family at all. Ha ha. But anyway, all I remember about this experiment is my dad took this huge intake of breath and then blew for all he was worth. I thought he was going to burst. Peak flow meter, thank you, Sarah. I thought he was going to burst. But he did his best, and he put in a very, very good effort. I don't know whether he was the top, but in our world he was tops. Another thing he did was he encouraged us to do public speaking. So he put us, when we were at that school, he put us into the he encouraged us to go into the Youth Speaks competitions, and I was lucky enough. I can't remember what David did. David, you'll have to put your you came second. Oh, he came second, did he, David? I didn't remember where he came. There we are. David's saying he came second. But in the at school, it was the Phoenician Trophy. So he put us in for the Phoenician Trophy at school, and then we went into Youth Speaks competitions outside school in the local borough competition. And I'm grateful to that. I mean, I was very nervous when I first did it, but very grateful to him. The reason he put us in for public speaking was because he'd never been trained to do it. Hi, Julie. He'd never been trained to do it himself, and he suddenly got thrown in at the deep end, having to make a speech somewhere sometime with no advance warning, I think. And so, it was a bit of a nightmare for him. So he made sure that we were more prepared if ever we were thrown in at the deep end. Nursery rhymes. Yes, David's saying nursery rhymes. Now, I think that was one of the speeches. So was that the speech that you did, David? I can't remember. My dad, he helped us write. I think he probably wrote the speeches for us, actually, and then trained us, gave us loads and loads of practice he would listen. He would spend hours with us, helping us to prepare for these. And I know I did win the speech competition. Did you win as well, David? I can't remember the detail, but I know that we were well prepared. Dean's just finished the top back section of his Technicolor Dreamcoat. Do you still want the pattern? Yes, please. Yes, please. And because my crochet is getting better. David said yes. I'm presuming he's saying yes to winning the trophy as well. I'm not sure whether the others did. I can't remember the detail. He's put no. Yes, no. David, when you put your yes and no, can you put what you're referring to? Because by the time I look at your comment, I've forgotten what I already said. So there we go. So Andrew was telling you there how to join, but I don't know if you can do that. So anyway, we won't worry. Hang on. So anyway, as I say, the Mr. Strong was because Dad wanted to prove how strong and what great lung power he'd got. You didn't win. Okay. No, but you've done a lot of speaking in your time. And so you're a winner in our eyes anyway, David. And what great preparation it was. So David, if you want to remember any of the incidents that you remember very well. Another thing, my dad, he taught me to drive. You're trying to do what Andrew says, but not showing request to join. Okay. I tell you what, let's see if I can. No, still not there, David. We'll have to get some technical advice from the technical members of the family. Whoops. So yes. So I'm just trying random things about Dad. He was a local preacher for the latter part of his life. Am I going to tips? No, I'm not. I finished. I only had one glass of wine and it's gone. I'm on water now. This is water, Sally. It's just water now. I had my glass of wine to wish my dad happy birthday. Don't forget, we need the emojis coming, the birthday emojis coming in if we're going to get the if we're going to have the bubbles. I've got the bubbles here. Yes, so we'll need birthday emojis in before I do the bubbles and sing happy birthday to Dad. But you know, we had many happy family holidays. We used to go on holiday in two cars. We had two Anglias, so Mum would drive one and Dad would drive the other, and Mum would have two of us in her car and Dad would have two in their car. Before that, we had a bigger car and we all went in one, but then they decided to have two cars and split it. So that's how we did it. But my dad learned to drive late in life. He learned to drive when my mum, I think, had not long had my youngest brother. David is 2 years younger than me, and Graham is 6 years younger than David. And I think Mum had just had Graham. Thank you for the emojis. She just had Graham, and she was her dad had passed 11 days before she had the baby, and she obviously was clearly upset because she should have had the baby before that. The baby was well overdue, and then her dad passed, so he missed seeing the baby, which obviously was very distressing to her, and all sorts of things, lots of pressure going on, and so she suffered a near nervous breakdown. So Dad took her away on holiday, but I know around that time, I can't remember the finer details, but around that time he learned to drive. We didn't know he was learning to drive. It was because she learned to drive long before that, but Dad hadn't driven, and he was learning to drive, and he learned around that time. And oh, Sarah says, Marcus says David needs to come back on the phone to get on the broadcast. So David, see if you can come back on your phone and try again. I don't know whether it you thought it was wine. No, it's Adam's ale. I did have a glass of wine, Sally, earlier. Lots of happy birthday people coming in here. Thank you, Rebecca. All sorts of emojis coming in. I'm just trying to oh, look at all those emojis. I think we'll do the happy birthdays in a minute. I do remember having a wonderful celebration for Dad's 80th birthday. We did lots of celebrations, and we did some surprise parties and all. Oh, it won't display horizontally. Oh, won't it, David? I don't know. See if it will work the other way. I don't think it will, but see if it will work the other way. I'm drinking cancer juice, right? Okay. So yes, we did a surprise party for Dad's 50th, and he had a season ticket to Chelsea, and he'd gone off to Chelsea, and while he was gone, the house filled up with guests for him for a surprise party. We had a big house, and we did a surprise party, and he was. We told everybody to get there early, and then they all had to park their cars further away from the house. Mind you, he wasn't that observant, so probably even if they were parked outside the house, he still might not have realised anything was going on. But he came in to a wonderful celebration, and everybody, you know, bursting into song as he entered through the door. So that, you know, he had a lot of fun. We've had a lot of. Oh, here we are. David's trying again. Let's see if I can bring him in. There we go. Let's see. So yes, we had some really wonderful parties. We had a big house, and we used to have a lot of parties, and we did parties with games, party games, all sorts of party games, mad party games, and the little fez that I had knitted. So the smoothie hat fez, that's gone missing in my bag somewhere. Oh, David can't get in. Obviously, it's not working. The fez, my dad used to wear a fez when we had parties, and he put the fez on, and then he said everybody had to listen to him when he had his fez on. Don't forget, I told you he was quite a short man. So in the end, he said that, well, I've got the fez on, you have to listen to me, but they didn't. So he then stand on a chair, and they still didn't listen to him. You know, can you imagine, everybody listening to him? But, we had a lot of fun at those parties. We used to have one after Christmas, I think, the Saturday after Christmas or something. We had some amazing parties. I'm sure David will remember lots of those. And Dad made up some wonderful games. He used to keep last year's Christmas cards, and then he'd cut them up, and he'd cut them into 4 pieces, but they'd be jigsaw pieces. And he would take one piece and put it in a box of each one, and the others got scattered around the house, and then we had to be in teams, and we were given one piece of jigsaw. We had to go round and find the other pieces of the jigsaw. We had all sorts of games like that. It was amazing. And made biscuits with Harrison today. Yes, that they looked yummy. Maybe they were in celebration of the birthday, the cakes, the biscuits. So yes, so on those party days we had wonderful times. So it was pretty fantastic. And of course we've had family weddings, we've had all sorts of things, but for my wedding, and I've told you this before, but it's something that stands out, when before I got married, he was practicing his lines, you know. He had 2 words to say and he tried them every which way. David, do pop in with comments if you can think of any more that you think you'd like to share. He was saying, when it comes to the bit, say, who giveth this woman to this man, he would say, I do. He practiced it every possible which way that you could say it. Slowly, fast, high pitched, low voice. It was just so funny. And you know, we've had a lot of fun. We had my wedding reception was in our house. We had a big house, and we managed to squeeze a sit down do into for 89 people in our house, which was a bit of a feat, but we managed it. But that was pretty good. Mum and Dad, you know, been amazing parents. They've done loads, and Dad's done so much to help us with our education and all those sort of things. But he was also a very kind and generous person to the outside world through his Rotary, through his local preaching, all those sort of things. Of course, there's a lot of references in our life. I should have had some licorice all sorts on here, but it didn't get that far. When he was preaching, he would always take licorice all sorts into church and share them out. And he would talk about people in this life being all sorts of different people. So, you know, that's where the all sorts comes from. So when you see me with Bertie Bassett or licorice all sorts, earrings or necklaces, all those sort of things, that's where that came from. Maria saying happy heavenly birthday. I will do happy birthday. We'll sing happy birthday in a minute as we come up for closing. But you know, I just trying to recall some of the other things. There've just been so many. I can hardly ever remember my dad getting cross. He did get cross with one member of the family once, and it was that, you know, when somebody goes missing and then you're cross, and then that ultimate sense of relief when they turn up. I'm not going to name who it was, and it wasn't David, but it was just you know, that ultimate sense of relief. And that's the only time I've ever seen him I can ever remember him being really cross, but it was that crossness with that sense of relief that all was good. Hi Heather. Yes, we've been keeping warm here. In fact, I'm rosy warm now. I had a glass of wine. Hello, Jonathan. It's nice to see you too. So we're doing celebration of my dad's 100th birthday, although he's having a heavenly birthday. He's left us 10 and a half years ago, because he left in June. So you know, it's 10 and a half, not quite 11 years. But so many stories, but I just wanted to share a few of those. I didn't get my wine drinking from him. I actually don't drink very much at all, only occasionally, and more so since I've been here, when my son offers me a glass of wine. But my dad was teetotal. He didn't ever drink alcohol at all. He actually signed the pledge. He was a Methodist, I mean, I was a Methodist, but Methodists traditionally don't drink, or they didn't way back. And you know, he actually never did touch any alcohol. So what else can we share? Lots and lots. There's so many stories to tell, but it's getting late, and I do need to do the happy birthday bit. David, if you've got any stories to tell, pop them in there. Cookie dough with ice cream is apparently very tasty, apparently, says Andrew. So they've been chatting there about baking, which is good. I'm going to do the happy birthday song. Oops. Let me have a look. Here we go. So for those of you who are watching in, you're horizontal. You're horizontal. Okay. The Queen will be proud of your dad and would have sent him a card. I know. Well, my mum is still alive. She's going to be 96 in July. She said she wants her card from the Queen, so she's hanging on. But who knows? You only drink to be sociable. Absolutely, Yvonne. I do. Invite you. You're horizontal. Oh, let me. Oh, let me see if I can invite you again. Oh, there he is. Let's see if we can do that. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm inviting him, but I don't know if he'll come be able to get. No answer from the live video guest. David, you need to answer me. Oh, he's gone again. He's gone. Oh, there he is. Let's add him in again. There we go. Right, I'm inviting you again, David. Sadie's in and Angela's in. How lovely to see you. So let's just see. I'm going to fire up the bubble machine. No, the guest decline. It's obviously not going to work, David. Never mind. When I get back to the island, we will live stream again together again. But I have no idea when that will be. Anyway, let's do happy birthday because it's coming up to nearly to the end of the hour. And it's time that some of us might need to get some sleep. I'm very tired today, by the way, folks. And that's probably why I didn't get more of my hats done. I may do a few more this week and add them to the hat to make it a bit more, I don't know, interesting. Anyway, let's go with the happy birthday. Happy birthday. Everybody, come on, drum rolls. Drum rolls. Actually, we need some drum rolls and then I'll go. I don't think did I see any drum rolls? I don't know. I saw lots of cake. I saw cakes and presents and all sorts of goodies, but I don't think I saw the drum rolls. So let's have a look. Let's have the drum rolls and then we will go with the happy birthday button. I push the button and we will get some bubbles. My dad would have loved this. My dad, he would have absolutely adored my granddaughter that I'm here with. You know, he absolutely adored his grandchildren and his great-grandchildren. There we are. Jan's putting in some drums there, and so is Sally. And then when the next lot of drums come in, then I'll go. Oh, right, there we go. Lots of drums. Right, here we go. Big voices, top of your voice, folks. You know, raise the roof, get it right up there to heaven. He wants to hear. All right. Mind you, he knows what's going on. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Daddy. Happy birthday to you. Can somebody take a screenshot, please? That would be wonderful. If somebody could screenshot. Here we go. Well, we've still got the bubbles going before it soaks everything and makes everything wet. Hope somebody's caught a screenshot there. Let's give it a try. Whoa. I hope somebody got the screenshot of that. Cass put some emojis in and I can't see what they are. They're all dark. They've gone very dark. Don't know what that is. So anyway, you know, smoothie hats in celebration of my dad's birthday. Try again. All right, I'll try again. Thank you, Dean. Let's have a look. David's trying his best to get in on this broadcast. You've taken a thank you, folks. That's lovely. So,
hello.
Oh, hello.
Thank you, Andrew.
How did you manage it? How did you manage it?
Followed Andrew's instructions.
We have some wonderful people in this community. So, folks, we want screenshots with David as well. He's got no funny hat. He's just got funny hair.
Can I sing happy birthday now? Because I missed out.
All right. Yes, I'll do the bubbles again. Go on. You sing
Right.
this time.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Dad. Happy birthday to you. One birthday candle when you're 1 year old.
I don't think we'll
Two
go
birthday candles when you're 2 years old. 3 when you're 3 and 4 when you're 4 and 100 birthday candles when you're 100 years old.
So, come on, now you're finally here. Let's have one or two of your memories that I haven't covered. Hello, Jean.
Well, I've exhausted all my brain trying to get on here.
Never mind.
Because yeah, but I'm still learning how to be professional. You see, my stand is downstairs because my computer's up here, upstairs.
Right.
So, but Dad tried to learn computers. He didn't do a bad job, did he? Even though he was sort of late into it.
Yeah. Do you remember when he was looking up something for Charles Wesley, and he said, "Oh, it's playing music to me." It was playing the Wesley song, the Wesley hymns out.
There was another Charles he was interested in. Do you remember that? Apart from Charles Wesley.
Not sure.
Dickens.
Oh, Charles Dickens, yes. Christmas Carol.
And he was so interested in Charles Dickens books that he bid on them on eBay. He ended up paying about 70 or 80 quid for this set of books.
Oh, I didn't know.
He asked me how I could get it. I think he asked me how he could get out of it, but we said, "I'll just buy them." So that set's now. It's a nice set of books, but it seemed a bit on the high side at the time to buy. But there you are. So he liked Charles Dickens, and he liked Lewis Carroll, and he liked William Shakespeare, because he was Romeo and he wasn't Romeo. He was in Romeo and Juliet as Mercutio.
Yeah, in his school, when he was at school.
In his school play, yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't there at the time. And he got a Sorry.
Carry on. Go on.
I was going to say he got a nickname, Snowy, and there is actually a photograph of him as I think he must have been about 10 years old, something of that region when he became Snowy in the school production, and that's why his nickname was Snowy to all those who knew him when he was younger.
Right, okay. I do remember when he was 3, he went on a bus. Or he went on a bus. And
he did.
Do you want to tell this story? Go on.
No, you've got halfway through it now.
Okay, so he went on a bus with his mum when he was 3, and he could read. And of course, when you're 3, that you shouldn't have to pay a bus fare. And he said in a big round voice, "Do not spit." He read from up there, and of course his mum. He was only 3. She wasn't trying to get away with making him younger than he was, but he could read at 3. And of course, the bus conductor probably didn't even believe that he was only 3.
He went to the same school, the same grammar school as Oliver Cromwell, but they were in different years.
Yes, yes. Oliver Cromwell was a little bit before Dad, wasn't he?
Yeah. No, the building that he was in 6th form. This is Dad, not Oliver Cromwell. Yeah. Was the building that had been the grammar school in Oliver Cromwell's time, and Oliver Cromwell obviously was in the time of the between the two Charles I, Charles II. So that's when he was at the grammar school, Oliver Cromwell, and Dad was. Well, born in 1921, obviously, if this is the 100th anniversary of his birth, and so that's in St Ives, in not the one down in Cornwall. This is the St Ives up in Huntingdonshire, as it was. Huntingdonshire is still a region, I think, but it's not a county anymore. It's got subsumed into Cambridgeshire.
Right.
So, the ongoing school now is called Hinchingbrook School. You might have heard of Hinchingbrook Hospital. Well, that's all in the same area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sarah's just saying Harrison's only 2, and he can recognise his name and Asda, because Sarah works at Asda.
Well done, Harrison.
Well, he's also got an Asda shop for Christmas. He has got his own little Asda shop.
Oh, little one.
Yes.
Hasn't bought a store.
No. Hello, Carol. Nice to see you.
The Oliver Cromwell building is now a museum.
Is it? Of course it is. Sorry, why am I saying is it? I know it is.
Yeah, it's a museum. There's another museum in St Ives as well. Mm-hmm. Sorry, that was Huntingdon, but in St Ives, which is the village along. no, town along, I think. That that has got a bit museum called the Norris Museum, which has got paintings by W. Milne and other painters who painted the area. Milne was a painter, Tish, and I was told by an art dealer that he had an argument with his wife and then decided, I'm going to St Ives. But he ended up in the Huntingdonshire St Ives, not the Cornwall St Ives, which is where most of the artists were. But there was an artist called Hubert Coop who Milne actually was involved with and befriended by. Hubert Coop was apparently the son of a vicar, and so they palled up together.
Yeah.
That's W. Milne, not A. Milne, different guy altogether.
Well, A. Milne's anniversary today. Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, is it?
Winnie the Pooh anniversary today.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah,
I missed that.
That's why we were trying to get in the broadcast. We did mention it earlier.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention.
But what do you think? You know, how amazing was it that Dad used to go back to his old school,
Yeah.
that he left? How many years ago did he? You know, how long before he passed was it that he was?
Well,
let's see. Going, wasn't he?
Yeah, the maths. Well, he was 10 when he started the grammar school because he was a year ahead of his time, and he was only 14 when he got into the sixth form of the grammar school, which is at the time when he was in the Oliver Cromwell building, and so he would have been 14 when he got into the sixth form, which would have been 1935, I think.
I'll let you do the maths, yes.
Right. Yeah, so and then he left, I think it was 1939, just before about the time of the war. He was in the Home Guard before he was actually in the Air Force.
Right.
Because he joined the Air Force, the Royal Air Force, just about the time of his, I think it was 21st birthday, because he wanted a choice. If you got conscripted, you didn't have any choice. But if you volunteered, so he volunteered just at the optimum time, because he wanted to wear a tie, you see. And the Air Force, the Royal Air Force, you wore a tie.
Right.
So, that was his thinking. He was head boy as well of Huntingdon Grammar School.
Yeah, and he wore his cap till the very last day of school, didn't he? His cap, his school cap.
This is all hearsay because it's all that he told us, and we weren't there at the time.
Well, I think he would tell us the truth.
Oh, he's trustworthy. He's trustworthy.
Joyce is hello, Joyce. Nice to see you in the broadcast. Right, Ailey's saying that she remembers you teaching me how to say her name.
Oh, Aileen, right.
Come in, you know, because it's like Auntie Aileen without the N.
Yeah, nearly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Completely different spelling, of course.
It is, yeah. It's a Scottish for Helen. It's a Scottish for Helen. Right. So yes. So other, you know, did Dad teach you to drive? He
did. It was a bit different, I suppose. He did. But he wasn't the only person who taught me to drive because there was Mr. Ellis as well.
Right.
So I think it was a shared experience.
What happened for me was he said I had to have some lessons with the British School of Motoring first, and then he would take me out. And I don't know if you remember, but he used to leave his job at Shepherd's Bush at lunchtime, come across to Drayton Manor where we were at school, meet me outside in my lunchtime, let me drive round for an hour, drop me back at school, and then he went back to work. Do you remember that?
No, I don't remember that.
No. And of course, because of all that input, my driving license started on the 8th of September that year that I was old enough to take, you know, 17, wasn't it? I think. Were we 17? And I passed my test at the beginning of November, so just 2 months and I passed my test. But he gave us so much help, you know, with it. Mm-hmm. So any other? Sorry?
Was it first time?
Yes.
Oh, well, other people, including my wife and me, take 4 times.
Was it? Well, my children, one of them was 1, one of them was 2, and one of them was 3, but they all got there in the end. And Mum, of course, took 6 attempts, didn't she? I can't hear you.
I was trying to pass it. Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Yes, yeah.
I was trying to pass it in London and
Right.
At the Acton Centre, which was
Yeah,
the centre of centres in Bromyard Avenue, Acton, West London.
yeah,
And that was a very, very busy place. And
yeah,
I failed 3 times at that place, that Acton one. They subsequently dropped the Acton centre. Well, it's remained an administrative centre, but it didn't carry on as a centre for actually taking the test.
no,
Anyway, I'd had enough by that stage, so I went to when I was at university in Birmingham. I had some more tests. I don't remember what the teacher's name was. I think it was British School of Motoring, but
right.
he took me, and I went to what was a quiet suburb of Birmingham for my test, called Quinton. Quinton, is
Right.
there anybody from Birmingham on at the moment? It
Richard's
was
not in.
Quinton.
Richard's
But,
dropped off of Facebook at the moment, but he lives in Birmingham.
oh right, okay. Well, yeah, I went to Quinton and passed there, but the driving instructor afterwards told me that he thought I'd failed on the first leg because he saw me do something but he thought would fail me. I think it
Yeah,
was cut a corner or something, but obviously the examiner must have regarded my driving as sufficiently safe because he did pass me.
well,
But it's got a lot harder these days to pass, hasn't it? Because you've got all that
that's,
theory that we didn't have to do. We did a bit, but not much. It was just a few questions, wasn't it?
that's right.
Fifth
I,
attempt. Well done, Jan Jones.
yes, she's passed hers on the 5th. Sarah's
Mhm.
not had any lessons because it's too expensive at the
It
moment.
is, yeah. It is
Yeah.
quite very expensive, isn't it? Yeah.
Mm.
Mm.
They're saying I look like my dad. I think
Well,
I tell you.
well, that's because you've got him on your head. Maybe they're looking at him.
Yeah, maybe they haven't seen
Oh
us.
yeah, oh you do look like your dad.
But I tell you something funny. So of course my audience don't really know Graham, our other brother, but I went on Snapchat and I put on some of those funny filters, and I ended up with one with a moustache and a beard, and I looked so much like our other brother. It looked just like him. I didn't realise how like him I was.
Oh, I could try that, putting a moustache and a beard, and I might look like him.
You might do.
He's a lot tidier than I am, though. He's much more into fashion and stuff. So he's more what's the word? Dapper, I think, is the word.
Is that what it
Yeah.
is? All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whereas yeah, I was going to say hirsute, but I haven't got a beard, so I'm not really. I've got a lot of hair up here, but
Yeah.
not round here.
Whereas I'm staying with my son Toby, and he's got it all round here and nothing
Yeah.
up here.
Yeah. So are you having to start paying rent now you've been there so long? Because
Paying rent in knitted jumpers and cardigans.
so is there any release from it's Manchester, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
Is there any relief? Oh, you were born near Jenny was born near Quinton. Did I say it right? Quinton?
There we go. This
I
is
thought
David.
it was. Oh, I see. I'm trying to understand what Jenny's comment meant. Then I was born near Quinton in Walsall, and I thought that meant that Quinton was in Walsall, but I think it means Quinton
Neil.
is near Walsall. Yeah,
It's
because I
Neil.
Birmingham, you see, Quinton.
Yeah. Sally's never had driving lessons, and you don't have to. Nobody has to. It's personal.
Our grandparents didn't, did they? Well, one grandpa did have lessons, but he didn't do so well. He was very good at instructing people where to turn left and where to turn right, even if you hadn't been to the area. As that was one story. Wasn't it?
I wonder if somebody can take screenshots now we've got David in. That would be wonderful.
I'm trying to do the professional thing, but I haven't got my stand with me. So and I was going to have a different backdrop, but all you get is all my untidiness here.
That's all right.
So I've been told that you have to look into the lens of the camera to make it look as if you're looking at people. Is that working?
Yeah, well, yes, it looks like you're looking at me.
Oh, right. That's because I'm looking at the little dot bit, not at you on the screen.
It's funny because on my camera that I'm recording on, we were at a different angle than the one I'm watching on the comments on.
Oh, right.
Aileen learnt
Thanks, Sarah. Yeah, I get it that Lynn's paying her passage by doing the granny thing. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm doing that, but also this is what I made for Brian for the, my little granddaughter.
Brian,
And
is she? That looked really big for. She must be
she's
growing
two.
quite a bit.
She's
Mm,
two.
yeah.
But because her mummy saw this and I said I would make her one, she's having the same pattern. And then
Oh, okay.
Toby saw it and he said, would I make him a jumper? So tonight I've ordered some more wool. My wool's coming from the Isle of Wight because I'm, giving my business to the local shop. So I've just ordered the wool for Toby's. So, hopefully I'll get it done while I'm here. Don't know. I probably get a whole wardrobe done for them while I'm here.
Yeah, Joyce Corby's Corboy. You've got an impressive hubby who, wow, driving for 25 years, no accidents and no lessons. Well, it's I suppose my husband didn't have any means that he didn't have any lessons, I suppose. Wow.
Yeah, that's good, isn't it?
I know that there was a time when you didn't have to actually have a lot pass a test even, wasn't it? I don't know when the licenses came in, but
I don't know, but I had to do a license. Maria's saying baked beans and mushrooms. That refers to part of what I've been making while I've been here, because my granny she's had a kitchen, and she's had a kitchen for Christmas, and somebody gave her some little tins, some cookware, and also some little tins that you put things in, like baked bean tins. So I had to knit some baked beans and some mushrooms.
Well, that's a tricky one. Oh, by the way, on the subject of licenses and driving licenses and so on, I think it's the case that we've got Beryl scooters down here. I don't know if you got them up in Manchester.
Is it e-scooters?
They are, yes. They're e-scooters. They're parked around various places in Newport. I don't know whether it's throughout the Isle of Wight, but it's certainly Newport. They suddenly appeared, these things. Right. And I think we've got an exclusive down.
Your sound's gone. Your sound.
A woman in her 20s.
She's just been
done.
I know. Drink driving. I saw it.
Drink driving. Yeah, she crossed a traffic light, I think, on a scooter. Right. I didn't realise that was possible to get done for drunk driving on a scooter, but because I suppose it's because you have to have a provisional license to actually register to have one of these things. It works through an app on your phone, and then you put the Q code on. And
we do have a driving a driving tester on the screen. She's making comments. She says it's best to have some lessons. Ruby is actually by profession tests people on their driving tests.
So, I see. So that's an driving examiner, is that?
Yes, driving examiner. Sorry. Yes.
Oh yeah. The only other driving examiner I've ever known was a guy called Paddy, who was married to a teacher that was at the same school as I was at. Right.
Okay.
But I'd already passed the test, so I didn't need to avail myself of his services.
Yvonne learned to drive a tractor as a child.
Tractor.
Andrew's putting knitted knickers. Somebody always uses the word knickers in the broadcast. We've got to 20 past 11 almost, and that's the first time it's been mentioned. Andrew, go to the naughty step.
Well, use that one as a segue into the story that Owen Evans and Dad had.
Oh, I don't know what you're referring to.
Well, Owen Evans, Dad wanted a Knickerbocker Glory, I think. And
right.
Owen Evans, no, it was Owen Evans who wanted a Knickerbocker Glory, but he referred to it as a trouser beatitude.
Oh, I remember that.
Owen Evans was a Welshman, you see, and he was actually from Anglesey, from that very long named place, Llanfair PG, and anyway, he was a friend of Dad's in the estate duty office in London. But in the beginning of the war, he was a conscientious objector, and he later went into the Welsh Methodist ministry. But an interesting thing happened one time. I live on the Isle of Wight here, and there, at Newport, there's a market that takes place, and it's not a very big one, but at this time, this coachload of people from Wales came in, and I met this guy who was a Methodist in from Wales. I met him in Newport Methodist Church, which were doing coffees at the time, and I asked him, "Oh, do you know Owen Evans?" You know, this guy was from South Wales as well, not North Wales. He said, "Oh yes, I know him," and it turned out he really did know Dad's friend.
My goodness.
Because Owen Evans was a very interesting guy, because he was the chairman of the committee that translated the Bible into modern Welsh.
Aha.
So he got to meet Prince Charles, who's Prince of Wales, of course, when they launched this thing. And then Dad asked him, when he'd finished with translating that, "Well, what are you going to do next?" And he said, "I'm going to write a concordance." A concordance being sort of a word book to know what verse in the Bible things are. So he's going to write this Welsh concordance. Well, bear in mind how many people were speaking Welsh at that time, and then how many people of those people would want a Bible, and then how many people of those people would want a concordance. So I don't know whether he did write the concordance. I guess he did. I never saw the concordance. I have seen a copy of the Welsh Bible. And I did meet Owen Evans again after a very, very long time, because I hadn't seen him since I was a kid. And I met him in not Llanfair, in Llandudno,
Right.
in North Wales, because I was going on a conference, and I managed to persuade Mum and Dad that they could go up there to stay, because Dad was in Llandudno during the Second World War when his office was transferred from London to Llandudno for safety purposes, and it was after that obviously went into the Royal Air Force. Anyway, there you go.
Right. So Andrew wants to know if you've seen the Isle of Wight webcams, David.
Webcam? No. Well, not there's one in Ryde, I think, isn't there? Oh, put my finger on.
Hands in the way of your camera. Oh.
Is it the one? Wait a minute. Is it the one that's on the top of Ryde All Saints Church?
There's more than one now, apparently. I think there's one. They're down at the Esplanade and the bus station as well. But
there's a camera here showing Isle of Wight, but it's my little room in Newport.
I don't think that's what they meant. Sarah's just put a long explanation there too about motor vehicles. So
it's my comments aren't going up. They stopped actually going up.
Oh, you probably swiped them off the way out. I've got them.
Oh, no, I've got them. My last comment says "naughty step for me" from that's to do with the knitted knickers.
That is the last comment that's on the screen.
Well, I've missed. Sorry, Sarah, I missed your comment. Oh, wait, yeah. Motor vehicles were an increasing common sight on British roads towards the end. 19th century, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there we go. So.
Right. New test.
Absolutely.
April 1st, 1934. Okay. Well, Dad didn't pass his until the 1960s or 70s, was it?
No, Graham was a baby, wasn't he? Mum was having
that would be. He was a baby in the 1950s, 59.
He was
60.
59, yeah. So it might be 59, 60 that he learned.
Okay.
Mum knew how to drive before that, didn't she?
Yeah, and she drove a Ford Popular.
That's right. Do you remember that car? Dad had to wind it up with a handle. Do you remember?
I remember 620 JMU better.
All right.
Which was a Ford Consul.
Do you remember the fire that the Ford Consul had? The engine burnt out.
Well, that was a bit. That was Dad's responsibility, wasn't it?
It was, yes. Do you want to tell that one?
No, you can tell it. It's your program.
So we didn't have garages in those days, but we had this Ford Consul car. That's the one we had before the Anglias. And in the winter, Dad used to put a little heater under the bonnet. Only on this occasion, the heater burnt the thing that was holding it into the bonnet, and it burnt the bonnet out, didn't it? It burnt the engine out.
Yeah, that was the end of that car, but it was a shame because if he'd have held on to that number plate, I expect it would have been worth a few bob if you'd transferred it over.
Right, okay.
Because, yeah, that, well, but, I mean, it would cost a bit to transfer over, but there you go.
Right. I don't remember the other number plates, do you?
No, the one, I mean, there was FMG 959B, which was an Anglia. And,
Well, they were
three,
the Anglias were they were in succession. They were next to each other because they were bought new together and
yeah,
registered.
but
together.
the other one, no, they were different number plates. FMG 959B and 3646 MF, I think it was. There was a yellow one which was that MF, and the dark blue one was the one that you used to drive, wasn't it?
Right, I must be thinking. I thought they were in. I thought they were in succession. The number plates.
There were no, that was a Fiat Panda, not Fiat Panda, Fiat Uno, I think.
Oh right, okay.
I think a bit later on, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think we ought to perhaps come to a conclusion on we have only half an hour of Dad's 100th birthday left.
Oh, okay.
I think some of these good people might want to go to bed.
Well, I do. I should have been in bed already. Sandra doesn't. I'm not sure if Sandra knows I'm on this broadcast because I think she went to sleep.
Your
My finger.
hiding, your hands are hiding. Yeah, that's it, or something there.
Yeah, I wish I'd have been able to get on downstairs because I wouldn't have had all. Oh dear, here we go again. Because we had all these technical issues. Well, I'd got it all nicely set up so that it would be on my stand, and then I learned that I needed to have it turned round horizontally, but I didn't know how to get it to release until Andrew informed me, and then Andrew informed me another thing. I mean, Sarah told me some stuff, but I couldn't see the button when it was on the computer. But between you all, thank you very much for letting me get on here, even if it's the last minute.
Ailey's just
Last minute. We've been on for how long?
a long last minute. Ailey's just singing. She was singing a song this afternoon over the phone to her 88-year-old dad, and she wondered if our dad knew it. Keep right on to the end.
To the end of the road. That's the first line.
He did know it.
Keep right on to the end of the road. There was Maresy Dotes and Dozy Dotes and little Lampsy Divey, a kiddly divey too, wouldn't you? You don't know that one either? And then there's If I were a blackbird, I'd whistle and sing. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer, do, etc. I'm very, very okay at the first lines of these things.
What was the other one? He used to watch the.
Buzz Buzz Busy Bee.
No.
Arthur Askey.
Who was the chap that blacked up with his hands?
Mommy.
Yes.
Al Jolson.
Oh, yes.
The sunshine right. East, the sunshine west, but I know where that sunshine best. Oh, my mammy, mammy. I'd walk 1,000,000 miles for one of your smiles, my mommy.
I don't think we'll get the job. Do you?
I'd walk 1,000,000 miles from one of your former smiles. Yeah. Yeah. Was it Proclaimers who did one about 500 miles? Wasn't it? I would walk 500 miles. Was that right?
I don't know. Yvonne's saying her mum used to sing Mares Eat Oats to her.
Yeah.
Mares
Eat Oats and Dozy Oats and little Lambsy Daisy. That one that I just sang.
I don't know that one. I can't remember it. Oh.
Well, you might not understand the words until you say it properly, because it's mares eat oats and does eat oats and little lambs eat ivy. But the way it's slurred, they used to put it up on the screen, spelling it differently.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know about that.
Do you remember Bernard Braden and what was her
yeah.
name? Barbara Kelly.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
we went to one of their shows once. I don't know whether you were there.
I don't
And they were, they have that warm-up bit. Well, Bernard Braden did the warm-up bit, and the
right,
warm-up bit, he put something which looked like it was French, which was
right,
no, un petit,
right.
d'un petit, ça, dans, à, wal. Un petit, à de grateful. But he'd spelt it all in a way that when you looked at the screen, it looked as if it was French, yeah. Mm.
Jolly good. Wendy's just
And then
got.
there's that one about Caesar had some jam for tea.
Oh yes. Yeah,
That
go
was
on.
sort of, well, Brutus
Yeah.
had a rat, I think it goes on, but I don't remember the rest.
No, I
But
can't.
all these little things that Dad taught us that one. But
Oh yeah.
yeah, and then he taught us on the way to school about how to do the declension. Was it declension
A Marmus and Martis and Man. No, that was
Yeah, that was one of them.
Yeah.
And the other one was it should have been bellum, 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 belly, bellow, bellow, bella, 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 bellorum, belize, belize. But the way he did it was blum, 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 blee, blow, blow, blah, 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 blom, beef. We learnt all these useless things that we haven't been able to use except as a comedy item on a show.
Well, yeah, but people are loving it. They're saying they've enjoyed the broadcast today.
Are you loving it like this or loving it like that? Loving it, loving it, loving it, loving it like this.
Ailey's saying she loves the old songs and the Vera Lynn, We Will Meet Again. We'll
meet again. Don't know when, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again someday, some sunny day. Her granddaughter, I think it was, used to live on the Isle of Wight, or does live on the Isle of Wight.
Oh, does she? That's something.
One of them. I mean, it was one of many, I think. But yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Sally's saying that our dad will be proud of us. Remembering memories. There we go. he did seem very proud of us, didn't he? Well, he pretended he was proud of us. I think he was. # proud dad.
What was one of his lines? About what he taught us. I've taught you everything I know, and now you know nothing.
Bless him. Bless him. And I'm sure he's...
No, that was something that was said by a teacher to him. But
right. Oh, yes.
Yeah, there was another teacher who...
I remembered something else. Go on, you tell yours and then I'll tell mine.
Well, I was talking about another teacher that he had who used the word only, and he would... because it was to do with having a leg, having a left leg, having one leg. And the teacher said, well, I have one leg and I have another leg, you see. And then he would put only in different places in a sentence.
Right.
So to show the different meanings. I won't go into that now because it's...
we could do another podcast on that. I was just thinking of, do you remember what happened to him when he pulled the girl's pigtail who sat in front of him?
I expect she sloshed him round the face or something.
No, she had one of those wooden pencil boxes. She wrapped his knuckles with it.
Who was that? That wasn't Joyce, was it?
I think it was somebody he was sweet on, yes. And
was it Joy? I mean Joy, not Joyce, I think.
I don't know. I don't know who it was, but he pulled the tape. But we should have told the story of how he tried to impress Mum with the song and the sweet.
Oh, what was that? Buzz Buzz Busy Wee?
I don't know what the song was, but he had to. He had to sing a song, didn't he, with a sweet in his mouth, and he was trying to impress Mum, wasn't he? Before they went out.
Well, his dad apparently used to give our grandma a sweet in the cinema, and Grandma couldn't work out why it was always a hard sweet when it was all dark. How could he possibly know that it was a hard sweet or a soft sweet? Because you couldn't tell by the covering apparently, and because hard inside sort of thing. We might have a coating round which was felt hard but wasn't hard
Yes.
inside. Anyway,
Yeah.
it turned out that what he'd do was he being a tailor, he had access to lots of pins, and so he'd take a pin with him to the cinema. And when he wanted to sort out the sweets, he would put a pin into the sweet, and if it went right through, that was a soft one, so he'd have that, and then if it didn't go through, he'd give it to Grandma, so she always got the hard ones.
I remember that. She couldn't work out how she always had the hard centres, could she?
That's it, yeah.
Dear
But they were as poor as church mices, I think, the way that Dad used to call his parents what they were, because one time Grandpa wanted to show him to offer Grandma some, oh, I'll buy you anything in this shop, because it was a day when he thought the shop was closed. Buy you anything in this shop. He tried the door and he fell in because the door was opening, because Grandma knew he couldn't afford anything. So. It never happened.
Yeah.
Do you remember? I think it was I think he called him Father Abraham, but it was Father somebody or other. That there was this guy in St Ives where Grandfather had his tailoring shop, and what they would do, because they had access to I think it was irons that they used to heat up the old copper coins, the old pennies, which were quite a size, and there was this itinerant guy down in the street below, and they were in an upper room, and they used to cast these pennies down, a penny down, but it was already very hot, so the itinerant would mean lot, eh? The itinerant would go to pick it up and then find it was very hot, but then you see he would become very clever, and in order to make sure he got that penny, he would put his foot on it until it had cooled down. So last laugh was on the itinerant fellow who got the coin. Yeah. Oh, my goodness! Thank you, Sarah. I get the message.
Actually, I'm lucky tonight. I've got the TV screen on that's got the time on it anyway. But I often ask them to give me a time check.
Oh, I see.
Sitting when I've got my phone on, I can't see the time on my phone. You see, but I'm actually in Toby's role playing in the room that I'd sit in usually. So
what role is he playing then? A brown role?
Something like that. Red role.
That's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I think perhaps we ought to wrap up now. It is getting late, and people are peeling off gradually and going to bed. So thank you, David.
Well, I'm sorry it took me so long to get on.
No, but now you remember that for next time.
Well, yeah, but the other thing about it is that it's kind of lack of skill in pressing the right button, because you were disappearing. I'd pressed the wrong thing and off go. Hey, bye, Ailey.
Bye, Ailey. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes. So you had you not unlocked your screen? Was that what it was?
It was. Once I knew the button to unlock it, it turned round easily enough. I was just trying to turn the screen without unlocking it, because I've never had to do this before.
No,
and I've had the phone for, well, this phone only for a few months, but the previous one, which I guess would have done the same. Bye, Yvonne.
Bye, Yvonne. Bye, everybody else. Night, night.
No, everybody. No.
Night,
no, it was bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye. That was Harry Corbett, wasn't it?
Was it? And I was just thinking...
Harry Corbett was brother-in-law to Harry Ramsden, you know, so I expect he got some nice fish and chips back in the day. I don't know whether Sooty and Sweet got them.
What's this?
Bear one of those, yeah.
It's Sooty in the nude.
Well, your other hand, is that Sweep in the nude, or is it Sue in the nude?
Sooty in the nude, and this is Sweep in the nude.
And then was it Sue, the little panda bear? Was she panda? Was she?
Yes, I think she was. Yeah. So anyway, everybody's saying night night. I think we ought to go.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Bye, Jenny. Bye, Yvonne.
Otherwise, it'll be you and me talking to each other.
And then we'll have to say goodbye to each other. Do you remember those people that Dad and Mum used to hear when they were in their flat in North London,
No.
by the Arsenal Stadium, near the Arsenal
right.
Stadium? And
Yes.
there were these people. They were related to each other, and they'd sort of spend about 5 minutes saying goodbye to each other outside loudly at about 11 o'clock at night.
Mm.
Bye then.
Did they live with each other?
No, they lived down the end of the road, so it's like
so they-
almost neighbours, but not quite. Yeah.
Oh, okie dokie. Right. Okay. What's Scamp the dog? He's put Scamp the dog, but I don't. Who's Scamp the dog?
Oh, was he one of the sooty people then? Was he?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know Scamp the dog. Well, I can't remember Scamp the dog. He wasn't doing the translate to make it. All right, Sarah.
Okay, well, we'll carry on for another hour then. Oh, it is hard to sleep these days. Yeah.
Well, who knows when's the end of the night and when's the daytime in this pandemic? You know, those of us who don't have young.
Did you say pantomime?
Pandemic?
It's all right. I'm having a problem with my hearing at the moment. This guy rang me up. This gas man rang me up and said, "Oh, I'm outside your door." So I went down and I said to him, "Oh, we have got a doorbell," and he said, "Well, I rang that."
Oh no!
So yeah. So but of course, in these days, you mentioned the word pandemic, which I misinterpreted. But of course, you're getting into hospitals to sort of do hearing aids or anything. Not that I haven't got a hearing aid.
Well, you'd be all right if you were here, because of course my future daughter-in-law, is an audiologist, and that's what she does. Hearing aids.
I know. I used her advice to
All right.
write letters because her boss was the kind of the head of the kind of association
Right.
for hearing aid people. And so when Mum was going through a problem with her hearing aids, I knew exactly what letter to write to get the remedy of it.
That's good. Excellent. So there we are. And Scamp the dog was from Sooty. He was.
Oh, right, yeah. It sort of had a very vague recollection, but without the prompt, I wouldn't have come up with that name. So well done, Andrew.
I wouldn't have remembered Scamp the dog either. Anyway, I think perhaps we should go now. It's now 23:42.
Yes, well, I'm going to run out of battery, I expect, but there you go.
I don't think you'll ever run out of things to say, though.
I can, yeah.
I don't think so.
Anyway. Well, we could record some silence and put it up there, couldn't we?
That's if we could keep quiet long enough to do it.
Well, we could do it overnight, I suppose.
Yeah, but I might snore and it would make a snoring noise on there. Anyway, I need to tidy up. I've left a mess here.
So, any indication of when you're coming back to this glorious Isle of Wight?
Not a clue. Not a clue.
Is it based on COVID things, or is it based on travel?
It's based on when I'm allowed to travel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
oh, Sarah, yeah, Sarah's asking about the grandchildren. Yeah, they're fine, thank you. Yeah, really enjoying seeing them, but of course we won't get to go and see them in the flesh until this whole lot of stuff's over, because one's in Taiwan and one's in Australia, in Melbourne.
And of course, it was the Melbourne daddy, that had a birthday yesterday, didn't he? So
that's right, he did. Yeah,
we had
bright shirt as well.
We had Matthew's birthday yesterday, Dad's birthday today, Hannah's birthday, so a niece's birthday on the 21st, and my daughter and her husband's wedding anniversary on the 21st as well.
Yeah, Hannah's the 21st. First, yeah, because
Tasha got married on Hannah's birthday. Yeah.
I've got a card for we've just written a card for Hannah, but we're not sure whether to post it or take it. I think we do have to go over to Ryde for a specific purpose,
right?
A legal purpose on Friday.
Right. Okay.
So
That's fine. Don't forget, you're not talking just to me here. You're talking to.
I said a legal. I didn't say illegal. I said a legal purpose. That's what I said.
I know what you said, but I just said. There we go.
Yeah, it's a vaccination trip.
Oh right, okay. So for those of you watching who know that I don't know how I'm going to get my vaccination, I finally got hold of my doctor today. Well, I got hold of the receptionist, and I said, "What happens about me? Because I'm up here, and how will I get my vaccination?" And she said, "I don't know." So I said, "Well, could you please go and find out?" So she went off to find out, and she said, "What I have to do is deregister down there and register with the doctor up here, and then re-register when I go home." So I thought, well, let's wait and see if they're doing 70-year-olds up here. Then let's find out. I'm not going to re-register at doctors until.
No, I mean your problem could be that you deregister and then you can't get back re-registered with them because they've filled up or something.
That's what I'm worried about, because I like the surgery I'm at. But did you hear? My viewers know.
Lynn's in. Tell Sally where you are.
I'm in Manchester, Sally.
Mm.
But I rang Tower House Surgery the other day, and when I rang them, I said, I just explained the problem, and she said, "I don't seem to have you on my records." I said, "Oh, have I disappeared?" So she said, "Go away and find out, and I'll come back." Anyway, I realised why. When I looked at the numbers on my phone that had been rung and whatever, there was Runcorn on my phone. I thought,
Runcorn?
Runcorn? Why have I rung anybody in Runcorn? Then I realised I rang Tower House Surgery in Runcorn.
Oh no. Runcorn.
It must have been a similar code to ours, because I didn't notice I was ringing the wrong code.
Andrew's pointed out that Manchester's the home of Coronation Street. Well, I've been to the home of Ramsay Street.
Right. Oh yes, in that would be Neighbours, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Melbourne, but it's called Pin Oak Court if you want to look it up. Pin Oak Court. Yeah.
Right.
Where's Brig?
North Lincolnshire.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's nice sounding place. Brig.
Yeah. Brig. There we are. Not Briggs. Briggs wrote the Snowman. That was Raymond Briggs.
Oh, Briggs. Well,
yeah.
I know there was a guy called Biggs rather than Briggs, and this guy that we know called Biggs. His father was actually, his surname was Big, but what happened was that during the Second World War, the army stuck an S on the end of his name, so so Big became Biggs.
All right.
But I know where they got the S from.
Right.
Where that got that spare S from, because there's another guy I know whose name is Swanborough, but his father was Swansborough with an S in the middle as well as an S at the front. So what the army must have done was nicked the S off Mr. Swansborough and given it to Mr. Big, you see.
Right, okay.
So that Mr. Big became Mr. Biggs and Mr. Swansborough became Mr. Swanborough.
You're ever the wordsmith, aren't you?
Well, I don't know what about that. Have you watched Lingo? Lingo? No, I don't mean Lingo.
Right.
I mean, no, there's a program called Lingo.
Right, is there? No, I don't know.
ITV, I think it was on. Just in this program, you just have to. There are three teams of two each, and they contest against each other, finding words on this board, and it's quite interesting. But and somebody won about 7,000 plus today.
Oh, I've been watching The Chase, and Catchphrase and Point.
Oh yeah, Sarah's seen Lingo, so I'm not making it all up.
Right. Oh, will it be on YouTube? I expect it will. I'll have a look. Caroline Firth came in just now. Hello, Caroline. She's in Ryde. Yeah. Kath's neck of the woods is where I am.
All right.
And let's have a look. I'll set a Corrie. So I'm in Corrie country.
All right.
I don't
Yeah.
watch Corrie, but there we go.
Sarah says that she's got cousins in Boston, in Lincolnshire. Well,
right.
yeah, been to Boston. They've got that is it a cathedral? It's quite a tall building there. But a lot of Lincolnshire's quite flat, isn't it? But that bit isn't.
Right. Well, I really think we keep saying
You
goodbye.
really think I know that you think, therefore you are. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Who made that saying? Do you know?
Howard Brown, who run a service in America in Florida, I think it is, a church
Right,
service.
okay.
That's what pinged.
Right. Oh, so I was saying who came up with that saying? I think, therefore I am.
It was a Frenchman.
Was it? Je suis?
I think. Was it Rene Descartes?
I don't know. I'm learning so many things from watching all these quiz programs. It's quite interesting.
Yeah.
I'm
learning more and more about less and less, and eventually I'll know everything about nothing.
Oh, you'll finish where you started.
Knowing less and less about more and more until we know nothing about everything.
Nothing. Oh dear.
I know nothing, but I know nothing very well.
You're an expert in nothing.
No,
you're going to go.
I used to be an expert. Now I'm just a spurt.
Are you going to go on Mastermind and your subject?
Catchphrases on now, apparently. Go, that's late at night. Tattersall Castle. Oh right, yeah. I've never been to Tattersall Castle.
I do very well on catchphrase, not so well on some of the more intellectual ones. What does that say about me?
Yeah, is that where catchphrase? That's one where they do little cartoons of things, is it?
Yes, and you have to
guess what they're doing.
And I watched one, and I don't know. Some of them obviously are old ones. I think the one I watched was a Christmas one that I watched earlier today. And I think it was last Christmas, because I don't know, they're not necessarily recent ones. And it was Carol Vorderman and Michael Ball and Cindy, that used to be on EastEnders and then is now apparently on Corrie. And they were coming up, they were going all round, loads and loads of the answers. They were getting them almost, but missing the word and still getting them. And they kept on trying and trying and trying. They were failing miserably. They did get money for their charities in the end, though. That was good. So
I like Michael Ball, nice singer.
It's not Sorry, it is part of another program. Wait a minute.
What's not Sorry?
Part of, I don't know. She says
Sorry was a program which the little Corbett was in.
Yes,
yeah.
Ronnie Corbett.
Ronnie Corbett.
That's right. But Sorry was also a board game, and that was a question that came up in one of the quiz shows this week.
Oh, okay.
I knew the answer, but they didn't. They didn't know the answer.
Well, don't apologise for it.
No, I think it was catchphrase. No, not catchphrase. Not catchphrase. I think it was the chase.
Catchphrase is not on now, is what they're saying.
Oh, it's not on.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
You love watching the game show channel called Channel. Oh, is there one? Yeah.
Oh, right. Well, there we go.
And I'm reading about sausage dogs at the moment.
Oh, Maria's been making loads and loads of sausage dogs. She's sick of sausage dogs, but she's made loads of them.
Would that be the Dachshund?
Yes.
Dachshund's the sausage dog, isn't it?
Yes,
and that means badger dog, doesn't it? Dachshund.
I don't know.
German for badger dog.
She's been knitting them, loads of them. But now they're all knitting. At the moment, the community are all knitting fish. We're doing. Did you know, David? We're doing some knitted aquariums for the care homes on the Isle of Wight.
Alternatively known as aquaria.
Oh, pardon me. Pardon me. Did I get?
I play Scrabble. Well, one time, you see, I knew that the plural of arboretum was arboreta, right?
Right. Yes.
So I thought, when I had the letters on my rack for, it wasn't pinetum, which is a pine version of an arboretum. So I tried to play pinetar, but apparently the plural's pinetums. I don't know.
But now you
Or have I got that one?
Mm.
Sarah was 9 or 10 when she went
To
to
Tattershall.
Tattersall. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And
Andrew
Maria,
knitted fish and flowers. Well,
right.
Sandra's going to knit another little jacket, I think, in a while, but she hasn't got a supply of who to give these things to at the moment. But I made a mistake. Well, no, it wasn't really a mistake of going into Home Bargains. We decided that we'd go for a walk
Right.
today. We usually go for a walk, but we weren't going to because it was raining. But then we did. And first of all, we met. Socially distanced, of course. Met unintentionally somebody walking their dog that we knew. So we sort of.
You knew the dog, or you knew them as well?
Yeah. I spoke to the dog, but he was feeling rough. I said to him, "Do you prefer to walk without a lead or with?" And he said, "Woof." And I said to him, "Where do you come from?" And he said, "Barking."
The barking man.
Yeah. And then his little doggy friend said, "Well, I'm from the Isle of Dogs."
Maria said that Dachshund means annoying. She said it means
annoying
because she's knitted about 50 of them.
Do you have to knit legs for them, or do you just leave them on the ground?
I think she put legs on them. Anyway, David, it's 5 to midnight. We really should let these good people go to bed.
Yeah, because otherwise we'll turn into a pumpkin, will we?
Handsome pumpkin. That's what Mum and Dad used to say. I'll turn into a handsome pumpkin if I don't get to bed.
Yeah. That's a kind of squash, isn't it?
Yes, it is a squash. Yes, a bit of a squeeze and a squash.
They grow squashes or they did grow squashes in the garden in Osborne House.
Did they? Right.
Yeah.
My daughter's grown squashes in her garden.
It would make it easier without legs to knit a sausage dog, wouldn't it? I mean, they're called sausage dogs. Well, sausages don't have legs, do they?
Jenny wants to know if she's on the replay. No, Jenny, we're still here. I think we could do this again. It's still live. And we've still got about 11 people watching.
Maybe it's a new set.
We have to stop in a minute because it won't be Daddy's birthday anymore in a minute.
Oh, but it will be somebody else's birthday, won't it?
Oh, probably, yes. But then we'll have to start all over again.
We don't know whose birthday it is. Wasn't it Uncle Charles' birthday as well on the 19th of January? That's what we were told.
I can't remember.
Do you remember Charles Blake? I
do. Uncle Charles and Auntie Mabel.
It was an interesting thing about Charles Blake because Nana's father was believed to be Blake, and Charles was and he died while Nana's mum was still pregnant. So that was her husband who died. But then Charles was named Blake,
right?
But it couldn't have been the same dad because he'd already died.
Right. Okay. She says, I have to take the hat off. It's nearly midnight. Well, if I have to take the hat off, I just happen to have another hat here.
Look, whose hat off? Is this some Russian guy we don't know about?
Yeah, Russian, take your hat. Mr. Take your hat off. Dear, oh dear.
Cousin to cut your tail off or something, wasn't it?
Something like that. Sally's saying she keeps saying she's going and she hasn't. Andrew's saying it's go live granny after hours. This is where you should talk about the knickers. This is the knicker bit. That's out of hours stuff.
I don't think I want to hear about these.
They're naughty. Maria's saying, morning all. Linda's just come into the broadcast. Linda, you just come in at the end of a 2-hour broadcast. It's morning here in Australia.
Australia's now night. We've been on forever. Yeah. Well, actually, I will be speaking to Australia in about 7.5 hours because that's when we'll be speaking to Matt.
You'll be falling asleep because you haven't gone to.
Melbourne is not in full, isn't it? They were pretty bad in lockdown, but they're not in it now because Matt's been to the Isle of Wight actually.
Right.
Well,
Oh,
there's Phillip Island,
yeah.
which is in Victoria, off the South Victoria coast, where the little penguins are. And
Right.
there's a plot of land which used to be the Isle of Wight Hotel, but
Right.
they're selling the plots off. But you've got to get in quick because I think the deadline for expressing interest is actually tomorrow, which is probably today in
You want to buy
Australia.
one? Do you want to buy a plot?
A plot of the Isle of Wight, yeah, and they've got a vintner and they've got the cows, but they haven't got a Newport.
Right. All
And
right.
they've got something called the Nobbies, which is their equivalent of our Needles.
All right. Okay.
And it doesn't look very much like the Needles.
Oh, right. The pumpkin hour it's the bewitching. Oh, it's bewitching hour. It's midnight. Right. The hat comes off.
It's all right, I'm a Christian, I can deal with that.
There we are.
Okay, if you're going to do that, it's a bit late to express the wishes of happy birthday, but I've got the hat.
Oh, look. Who for?
Well, for Dad.
Why have you put it on now? I took mine off.
Well, because I've just seen it, and we were doing hat things.
Well, put it back on. Put it back on.
Okay.
And get somebody to let's come on. We want to. No, not your hair. The hat. You're as bad as me. Can somebody take a screenshot when he's got his hat on? Put it round the right way.
Oh, is it the wrong way? Right, it's
Yeah.
all right. Is that better?
Yes. Can somebody do a screenshot before we go? Have they done that?
I'm your long-haired lover from Liverpool.
Why have you got a wig?
This is the wig that I had for my 60th birthday. Don't you remember it?
Oh, yes, I do.
I also had a beard. I've got a beard here somewhere, but I don't. All my hat's fallen off now.
Thank you, Sarah. I must tell you, folks, for his 60th birthday, he dressed up in 60s gear, but he forgot to tell everybody else to dress up.
No, I didn't. I didn't want everybody else to dress up.
I know you didn't. You wanted to be outstanding in the field, and that's where you should be.
What, you reckon I'm a scarecrow, do you?
Yes, something like that. Thank you, everybody. Right. I really think it really ought to be time to go to bed, although Toby's still up playing role play in the other room.
Oh.
I've got to be up in the morning because I've got to do I've got to join in with my granddaughter there's a Zoom program they have on a Wednesday morning, and it's at 10 o'clock. I have to be up. Today I've been doing Bounce Patrol. Bounce Patrol is great.
What is Bounce Patrol? Is it as exciting as Peppa Pig?
Oh, it's more exciting than Peppa Pig. It's
Is
actually
possible?
from people from Australia. I'll Google Bounce Patrol, and you can learn all about numbers and letters.
I'm cool now.
You're cool. I thought it was only me that had the dressing up box.
I haven't got a dressing up box. It's just clutter about the place. We just found this today. We were sorting out a bit of Sandra's room, and this old hat was there. So
Don't throw them
I think
away.
it's a carnival hat. Pardon?
Don't throw any of them away. This hat, I don't know if you were in the broadcast. This hat was actually. It's actually a book came in from Amazon. It's one of those bubble wrap bags. And the outside,
Dick Van Dyke. Oh, I see. Yeah.
And the blue bit, David.
Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chimchery.
Oh yes.
I loved his Cockney accent, Dick Van Dyke's Cockney accent.
Yeah, that's good. David, this bag.
Oh, the old bamboo, the old bamboo. Is that the one? Where he's in the hat?
Is Bounce Patrol better than Paw Patrol? Bounce Patrol is brilliant. Folks, look it up. But it's Bounce Patrol. It's some I think 5 Australians, and they do lots of entertaining for children, and it's really good. As an ex-primary school teacher, I actually rate it very well.
So you had a good day, did you?
I had a very good day. Where's your corks? You've got to have corks in
there. Oh, can't seem to see where that is at the moment. Yeah.
Never mind.
Oh, I know where it is. Downstairs, my dear. Downstairs.
Maria's
On the
saying she's not going to be up in time for homeschooling.
Well, they need a bit of discipline, Maria. You need to break yourself away from this drivel.
She can't. She loves it too much. Sally hates Peppa Pig.
Well, I was never truly impressed. The other thing is Mr. Blobby. Ah, now there's someone to hate.
Dad didn't like him, did he?
No. Went to the place that called Crinkly Bottom once. It's not called that, is it?
Have you been keeping?
I think it's in Dorset somewhere, isn't it? Oh, what's that name of that place? Forgot the village name now. See what getting late at night does to my brain. Oh no, that's not what does it. I was always like,
Andrew
I joined the Foreign Legion to forget.
What did you forget? I can't remember.
Forgot.
Oh, Kath's not teaching. She's teaching online, but not tomorrow, fortunately. So
Tomorrow never comes, my dear.
That's it. Well, there you go. You like what?
Horrid Henry.
Horrid Henry. Oh.
There were horrid histories.
Yes, absolutely. That was another question that came up on the chase. Something about horrid histories.
Shrek. Shrek, wasn't he a bit green? And the Crazy Frog was.
Yeah.
Was the Crazy Frog green as well? I don't know the Crazy Frog.
I don't know the Crazy Frog, but I'm sure that the Crazy Frog might know about us being crazy. Right, I really think we should let these lovely people go to bed. We're down to 10.
It's not, that's their choice, isn't it? I mean, they're grown adults.
Absolutely.
We're not responsible for people staying up.
We're just not responsible. We're very irresponsible.
Don't know whether you will get a response to that one.
Who knows?
Sally's in bed, right? Okay.
Sorry, what did you say? Oh, she is in
Sally's
bed.
in bed.
Often my viewers are in bed. You know, that time of night. So there we go. Oh no, Crazy Frog. Hope he had pants.
Oh my goodness.
Behavior.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Back to the naughty step, Andrew.
So there's amphibians, aren't they? Frogs, toads, newts, salamanders.
Well,
is it?
You got, this is what you say to the waiter, isn't it? Have you got frog's legs? Well, hop off. And
yeah, waiter, have you got frog's legs? Yeah, well, hop off and get me a steak, isn't it?
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Waiter, there's a fly in my soup. What's it doing? Oh, the breaststroke. Yeah.
Maria's in bed as well.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
Those jokes we got at school, didn't we?
Were they? No.
I learned recently. You know, did you remember Dave Mann?
Yeah, vaguely.
Yeah, well, he had a brother called Steve Mann who was younger.
Yes.
At the school at Drayton Manor,
I remember.
and I just found out recently that he's in the group Sweet, and other groups he's in. Yeah,
I don't.
Because I said to Sandra, who obviously Sandra grew up on the Isle of Wight, not in West London. I said to Sandra, "Have you heard of the group Sweet?" She said, "Oh yes."
Right. Okay.
So, but what I hadn't realised that it's a sort of I'm not sure whether it's.
Is that a group, an Isle of Wight group then? The Sweet?
No, it's not. It's It's sort of, well, I don't follow pop music all that much, but known to them. But there's he's in a couple of other groups as well. I've forgotten the names of them. Yeah, Steve Mann. So Rick Wakeman isn't the only musician in the popular culture from our school.
Yeah, no.
And what's that comedian lady who's Iranian, Shoppy Moss or Sandy or something? Shafi. A name anyway. I learnt she went to our school as well.
Really? What?
Yeah.
What a variety of products came out.
Yeah. And my best man, who's computer head of computing, wasn't he, at Oxford?
Oh, right.
Yeah. He was in Drayton Manor as well.
Right.
When we say Drayton Manor, that's a school, the name of a school. It's not the name of that. There's a park, isn't there? An amusement park called Drayton Manor, but it's not that.
We went to Drayton Manor Grammar School in West London, in Hanwell in West London.
Hanwell is where Charlie Chaplin went to school, by the way.
Did he? I didn't know that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think of my hat, David?
Well, it looks more like a swimming cap. You know, the old style swimming caps. Do you remember the bits
Yes,
which
I do.
those plastic? Well, I know it's not plastic, but is that under the sea? Oh, under the sea.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
It's the things I've made for the aquarium, and
All right.
I put them on one of Cheryl's hats.
Okay.
And do you like
when you say aquarium, that's a posh name for fish tank, isn't it?
It is a posh. Yes. Now, if you know anybody who've got fish tanks that they're not using, Rebecca, who's her friend of Barbara Sargent, she is heading up the project to do these aquarium in the care homes on the Isle of Wight.
Okay.
And she wants some aquarium. Otherwise, we'll make them out of boxes. But if she can get real aquariums, that'd be good.
Yeah, I don't know a source for them. Jenny used to go to Drayton Manor Park, but not the school.
Yeah, you don't know what source. I would take
Andrew's school, primary school, opening 1910. Ours opened in 1957, didn't it? Because I was there the first day it opened.
Our primary school was, yes. I was bused to Greenford, and then when the school opened, I was one of the first people. I was the first May Queen at that school too.
Oh, look at you! I was never May Queen. That's not fair, is it?
Did you want to be May Queen?
Didn't want to be June Queen or April Queen even. I wanted to be. What did I want to be? King of the. Oh, I'll tell you who wanted to be king of the world.
Oh, who?
Boris.
Oh well, yes, okay.
Alexander Boris de Pfeffer, isn't he? Johnson.
Don't know.
Yeah.
Just another thing on that sort of thing. Do you remember when I was chosen as a moon maiden when we were at Butlins? Remember that?
Very vague recollection of the term moon maiden.
What happened? We were at one of the children's entertainment things, and Mum and Dad had left us there, and they wanted somebody whose birthday. It was my birthday that week, and so I got chosen.
September the 8th. Weren't you not back at school by then?
Well, it might have been at the beginning of that week or something, but anyway, it was the nearest birthday to then or whatever. And so
Harry Seacombe's birthday.
Yes, that's right. And
Mrs. Machen Smith's birthday.
Yeah, and they invited. They asked me to come up on stage. Well, they did face paint all over me as well, and I had to talk in Moon Maiden language, which was gobbledygook, which is a bit like what I talk now anyway. And Mum and Dad came into the theatre, and they were looking all around. They couldn't see me. They didn't know where I was because they were looking for me in the audience, and there I was.
You hadn't been eclipsed, had you?
Oh, I don't know, maybe. Yeah, absolutely. So Andrew was in the first class from his primary school to go to the new high school straight after the summer holidays. Harrison is and always will be the first Asda Isle of Wight baby. Aha!
That's the way to do it. Born in Asda.
No, he wasn't born in Asda. No, I think he means the first baby of one of the first members of staff to have a baby, because Asda was brand new. Sarah started work when Asda was brand new on the island.
Yeah,
I think that's
the way to do it.
Yeah. Do you realise it's midnight now? Almost.
Why are you keeping me up like this?
Don't you blame me. How else would you like me to keep you up? Levitation. Anyway, I'm going to go.
Are you? Where am I going to go then?
Well, that's up to you. Where would you like to go?
I want to go to heaven eventually.
Oh, do you? Well, you have to be a good boy then.
No, it's not that. You've got the theology all wrong there, Lynn.
All right. Okay. Go on.
Yeah. No, you accept the free invitation of Jesus to save you from your sins. and then you
Oh, so
you
you
are
can be naughty.
sanctified. Pardon?
So you can be naughty and then just get there. Free ticket.
No, oh no, that's another conversation. But
That's for another.
it's not about you don't earn your way to heaven, is what I'm saying. By being good. That's to get presents off Santa. That one.
Oh, right. Okay. Right. Okay. I'm going to go. Night,
You
night,
keep
everybody.
saying that. Go on, be brave.
Thank you so much, everybody who stuck with us for 2.25 hours. Oh, no.
Who are we stuck with?
Just over 2 hours, because I was about 10 minutes, 10 past coming on. So 2 hours. Thank you ever so much for everybody who came in. Love
10
you.
past Fugit, is that?
Yes, 10 past Fugit. Time flies.
Time flies, you cannot. Their flight is too erratic.
So it's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye.
Yes, it is. It's a farewell from him.
Yeah. So wave goodbye, David. Andy,
Now's the time to say goodbye, oh dear.
Andy,
Now's the time to say goodbye. Now's the time to yield a sigh. Morning, sleep well, yeah.
We have too much.
Bye, everybody. Bye, Kath. Bye, Maria. And bye, whoever else is on there. Rachel. Bye, Rachel. Bye, Andrew. Thanks. Thanks for your help for me getting on. Sarah, thanks for your efforts to get me on as well.
Her efforts were to get you off, don't remember. She gave us a time check. And it didn't work.
Goodbye. Goodbye. There's a silver lining in the sky.
Bye.
It's up to you to switch the
I'm gonna. Yes, of course it is. I'm gonna kick you.
I can't find any of the knobs I'm supposed to switch off on and things. Here comes the big finger of fate, but I don't know what it's going to do.
I'll finish the broadcast. Bye.
Cheers.